Alright guys, BLM here, back with The Outer Worlds, continuing on from where we left off. Who the fuck are you?
I'm working as fast as I can, alright? If y'all would quit bothering me, I'd get this done soon.
But we're at the end of the game. Hopefully this should be the last episode. We'll see.
Is that a joke? Y'all call me out to fix the FPS and now you're asking me who I am? Whatever. I need to fix this before I get in trouble, so stop bothering me.
So there's some vending machines. That's nice. Okay, so we'll buy all of those. Might as well buy all of these. They're not that expensive. We'll buy all of those. I don't know if I need anything else. Alright, so let's actually go ahead and, well, what is this? Is this the same vending machine? Oh, there's more. So we have 34 health packs right now. So that's kind of funny. Hopefully it's enough. Alright, let's go ahead and do another save actually. Just in case things go wrong. Okay. Let's go. Wait, I thought we killed everyone here. Is that not everyone? Fuck.
Captain, look out!
Shit. Can we not get through? Oh. Okay, fine. Shit. Did we actually make it through that? Holy shit. We actually made it through that. How the fuck did that happen? Shit, I should have done it before I opened the door, but let's create another save, just to be safe.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Are you kidding me? We're out here trying to clean up your mess.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way. Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help. I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Are you out of your mind? Rockwell's the biggest monster in Halcyon. You got any idea how many lives he's destroyed? How many people he's hurt? I've had enough. You even think about cooperating with this animal? And you and I are finished. You're damn right it is.
If you're gonna place more faith on this brat than the chairman of the fucking colony, then there's no hope for you. Go get yourself killed.
Here they come!
How many more floors are there? Fuck. Damn it. Fuck, where do we save? Oh, of course, it's fucking... before the fucking conversation. Like, really, I wish the checkpoints were better in this section of the game. Okay, try this again.
Well, look who...
Yeah, I don't care. Wait, what if I have less than 50 now?
Will...
Whatever. Or less than 80. Actually, but either way. Not what I meant to do. Cool. Just me being an idiot. Oh fuck. Really? Okay. That was something. Okay. The pit exit is right there.
Looks like
We'll try to run through. I just want to see what's over there. Oh, it's just an elevator. Okay. Well, that's easy then.
Ain't feeling jittery, are you? 'Cause I'm not.
There she is. So dumb, but whatever.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. Words cannot express the extent of my disappointment. We had a plan. All you had to do was skip the Hope to Tartarus, as I asked. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Over.
I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for manipulation, but I warn you, I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one...
Okay, I don't care. Oh shit.
Anyone with eyes can see that you're talented, Captain. I only wish you'd use... You wander the system, doing as you please, answering to no one. Your mere existence throws... I'm keeping this colony from falling. You had so much potential. I would have put your talents to good use. I would have made you wealthy beyond belief. I'm not in the business of working with my enemies, and you've made your loyalties abundantly clear. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Shit.
This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a... And don't worry. I will...
Okay. So let's go. Oh, I can't save? Oh, it's saving. Well, I mean, might as well save myself.
For me.
Nothing. Okay. Okay. Well, cool. Okay. What the fuck is going on with this thing's animation? It's like it's just skipping from place to place. Oh my god, fuck. Fuck off. Fuck off. And okay, cool. Fuck, just reload. Fuck off, man. Okay, cool. Fuck! Damn it, we're so close to finishing that off. Damn it. That's annoying. Fuck, we were so close. Yeah, I just like took a fucking I just stopped looking at my health because I just thought I would die any second there. Is this the final boss battle though? Okay. Press again. You know, it sucks there's our allies die so quickly, so. Fuck, that was so close. That. Oof. Okay. Not what I meant to do, but okay. Let's go ahead and do a save here. Any of these. Oh, that was anticlimactic. She just dies just like that. Let's do revert all. Let's go ahead and do tech. Do that and then finish up this. Okay. Free Phineas. Wrong button. So is that it now?
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her
There we
death
go.
was much deserved.
think
And
that's it.
long overdue.
Last episode just uploaded.
And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just
Oh,
to
2
rescue
episodes
one
ago, love.
doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind. And I can't begin to thank you enough. All in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
Okay.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe
Is that it?
happens
Yeah,
according
looks
to
like
the
it is.
grand plan.
Get the trophy.
But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts. And when the sulfur cloud settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later, when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor, underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation.
So it feels like we pretty much got the best ending, right?
Traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as
I
a
don't
constant
care.
reminder.
I really don't
Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans. Though Minister Clark was eventually released,
Yeah, I don't
as for
care about
Dr.
these
Phineas
figures.
Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Sure. Alright, we did it. Finished the Other Worlds. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, gameplay-wise, I enjoyed it for the most part. I mean, I enjoy it, like, the tone of the game. I think overall, narratively, it's just kind of whatever. Like, I didn't give a shit, really, about anything that was going on in the actual narrative. It was fine. I mean, it was a fine game. I mean, I think, like, as a sort of spiritual successor to Fallout. I think it's pretty much what you would expect. It's fun. It's kind of like a mix of Fallout and Borderlands. Is kind of the way I look at it. Yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. There we go. We're done with the Outer Worlds. Yeah. What's next? I guess Resident Evil 2, right? Resident Evil 2, and then Judgment, and then we'll see after that. But yeah, that's it for this. So tomorrow I probably won't record. I might record at night after work. We'll see. Start Resident Evil 2. I don't know. Either way, we'll get around to starting Resident Evil 2 at some point. But for now, that's it. Thank you for watching.